Look at that. And Drift0r, I was hoping that we'd get you sitting upright. Is there any good health news?
Yes, I thought about starting this sitting upright. I'm doing more of that these days, but it would just be a facade. It would be 20, 30 minutes, and then we'd have to transition into here. The health news is I'm recovering, question mark. Said that a number of times on this show for sure.
Yeah.
I got treated for babyosis infection, which is a parasitic protozoan that lives in your blood. And I can see you wincing, the incredible, unbelievable audacity of this story.
Wait, what is it called so I can look it up?
The name of it I was like, wait, what?
Babyo, what is it called?
Babyosis. It's reverse aging. He's
so what I've prepared for you is actual proof that I'm not just bullshitting you all. This is my actual test. I actually got this.
A man who can read the room.
Painfully rare disease.
Negative. All right.
Wow, that's a lot of AIDS in your blood.
Yeah, but the way it cut off, the babyosis, whatever, for the fish down there is positive at the bottom. So that's what I got treated for. It was successful. I felt a shit ton better. And let's see if I can go back to my actual regular screen now that I've done that. And a crazy thing is, 2 days after starting the medication to treat this, all of my nightmares and bad dreams and shit just full stop. 35 years of insane nightmares and crazy stories and conversations on here about nightmares and shadow people. 3 or 4 days of medication, and I have not had a nightmare since October. So that's a blessing.
Wait.
All right, that's a couple months.
I understand. So you've been on medication for 3 or 4 days?
It only took 3 or 4 days for that change to take effect. The course of the medication was just antibiotics for like 2 weeks, and now I'm just doing physical therapy and regular follow-ups. And I know I'm still in the bed and it looks terrible, but things are
no, I was worried it was a really small sample size. Like, I took this medicine and I haven't had a terror all night. Like,
no,
since October.
Are you just a little bit jealous of being able to just lie in the bed like that and go to work? Because like, like a little part of you, like, try it for a day, you'd be like, this is all right.
Yeah,
kind of nice.
Dude, I couldn't do the show laying down. I'd fall asleep.
Time to open my eyes and go to work.
I need something typed. You clap.
I got a text to speech, so I just lay here and talk into the mic, and it types everything for me, and I paste it in. It's real lazy workstation. My wife and most of the guests in the house want to try it out and love it. And we have what you don't see over here past the camera is a TV setup and some other things, so I can very easily just turn it on and share what's on the screen. Like if we wanted to play a game together or whatever, somebody wanted to peep.
That would be so fucking funny to come in that room and be like, let's watch a movie, and I'm watching a TV and you're watching that. And it makes me think, have you ever like been on your phone in a bed and you're holding it above your face and you drop it and it's like bang?
Yeah.
Like I've done that multiple times and it's embarrassing, and that would be cataclysmic. Dude, if your setup
worse
fell.
Than that. So I will have my laptop on my chest like this, and then it goes bang. I have done this show with a cut across the brow of my nose from the fucking Apple laptops. Notoriously can slice loaves of bread.
They're so thin.
They're sharp.
Yeah, also the brow of your nose. And I just like minimize the scab and try and pull it off.
Woody, did you fall asleep in our call this week when we were
plead the fifth?
All right, so
that's yes. Detective Taylor sleuthed that one out right away.
Guilty people don't plead the fifth.
I've watched a lot of programming with Woody. I'll say like in person, side by side, but also.
So technically, we've slept together.
Oh, we've slept together 100%. We've been in the same bed together with Taylor. But what happened? What happens is, and
just imagining the fan art right now. Hopefully they render your abs just right.
Sure.
Make me the hairy, muscular one.
Don't get my abs right. Make them better.
It was in the middle.
Yeah, at the very least, I want to be a power bottom.
All of us. There was like 8 of us in that bed.
T-Mar was in there.
Yeah, we all watched UFC in a call, and I just remember hearing, and someone went, and someone, bless their heart, went, "Is Woody sleeping?" They whispered so as not to wake you. And I'm like, yeah, he's asleep. Yeah, he's asleep.
You can play carnival music.
Yeah,
he's not waking up.
I was asleep and I did snore, although they were talking mad shit. And like that woke us up. Once I start hearing my name a lot and stuff, like I'm back in it. And I'm like, Jackie's like, let's just be quiet and listen to what people say about you while you're sleeping. Kyle was kind, but the fans... maximum assholishness. Like,
did you keep
really brutal
snores?
stuff?
Like,
I'm sorry, say that again.
did you fake snores to sell it? Because I would imagine that as soon as the snoring stopped, it's like, wait, it's too quiet in here.
He was just overly confident that I was still out.
So you missed some of the best fights. Or
No, it was the Colby Covington fight, and sleeping was the
woke up
proper response to that, I assure you.
It was not a good fight. That was not a good card.
Did either of you win or lose a little bet on it?
I owe Woody $5. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you made a bet on that one.
Yeah.
This babyosis thing, I'm looking it up. This is one of those tick diseases that you get from getting bit by a tick. Did they tell you, or do you know when the tick bite could have happened?
I have no clue. I am so lost. It was so hard to find even a single doctor in the entire state of Texas willing to treat this. And their speculations on how I got it was a blank. Like if you go on the CDC and look it up, between 1 and 3 people in the state of Texas get it every year. So I guess I'm just lucky.
Damn. Were you an outdoorsman at any point? Like lots of tick bites?
Grew up real poor, out in the country in Mississippi, rural agricultural area, some in Kentucky as well. The kind of thing where you catch dinner, catch your fish and eat it, or
Kentucky,
even,
that checks out based on this.
When I moved in with Rich Stepdad, it was like, let's get in the go-kart and go out in the woods and fuck with stuff and shoot guns. And
and he was the dad who would be like, nightmare, demons.
So I have no idea where or how I got it. I have no clue. I am just as in the dark as all of you. All I can say is that I took the medicine and I feel better. And I think that might have been fucking me for years.
I have a couple of questions. Did they suspect babyosis or just run all kinds of tests?
I was all kinds of tests. I was 87 different kinds of desperate and confused. And I was sitting here and I would pray every morning, please God, let me be crazy. Let this be a Sixth Sense moment where I'm Bruce Willis and I realize everything is fine and I just need some fucking Xanax. And nothing was working. So I started taking kind of weirder tests at random. There was a company called IgeneX that would test you not just for Lyme, but for every single tick-borne disease on the planet. And it was like, oh, it's $3,500 to test everything. Sign me up. Ship that shit out right now. My internist said, why not? You're having all these joint problems. And lo and behold, it was like a month, maybe 6 weeks later, it came back and it was positive. And I had no idea what to do with that information. And it kind of started a whole series of events. I think I'd actually just gotten that news like 2 days before I showed up here as a clown.
Yeah.
But I had to wait to get it confirmed by an actual infectious disease doctor. And we couldn't even replicate that particular test because we tried testing for individual strains and got nothing. So since the medication was relatively low side effect profile, they're like, let's give you the medication and see how you respond. Response was pretty positive.
My second question was the antibiotic. Like, what happens, like, say, with syphilis oftentimes is people don't know they have syphilis, but somewhere along the way they get strep throat, take an antibiotic, and syphilis never gets as bad as it did for Al Capone or whatever.
Yeah.
You haven't had an antibiotic in years?
I genuinely don't ever remember taking an antibiotic since I was like 9 years old. I mean, I might have, truly. I just don't remember it. I'd never really got a bacterial infection that I can recall having. Certainly not in the last decade. I mean, maybe if I was did something when I was 13, I might have forgot it. But the antibiotic they made me take was you had to drink it. It was this bright yellow stuff that looked and tasted about like highlighter fluid. And I had to drink it 3 times a day. It was awful.
I feel like psychologically that would help me. Or I'd be like, this elixir will get me well.
The placebo effect. The bigger and weirder the medicine is, the more it impacts your body, the more it impacts your mind, the stronger the placebo effect is. Or the nocebo effect. You can give people big red pills that say poison, and they'll take them, and like half the people will get sick or feel weird every time. Yeah.
It's way like psychosomatic responses. Like you can create pains in your body in different places. Like that stuff is powerful. And it's probably good they didn't put you on antibiotics. At least my understanding is like they don't want people to, they did this time, but not before.
I took antibiotics, not antipsychotics or SSRIs. Or
antipsychotics. I was saying, because like I know when I've been sick in the past, they're like, well, this could be the flu, so let's not put you on even though it might be stress because it can mess with your like guts and stuff.
Oh yeah, my gut flora. That's what I really care about.
I'm
when
like, well, I didn't come
sneezing
into
and
this
can't get out of
office
bed.
like
You
knowing
will
what
care.
was the difference.
I'll take diarrhea over the flu.
Right,
Give me
dude,
those
I'll take-
antibiotics, you cocksucker.
Dude, apparently it takes a while to build all that shit back up again.
You
And I don't eat
muscle
well.
down one Greek
You don't
yogurt,
notice.
and you're good
You're
to go.
describing my life 6 weeks ago or 2 months ago or whatever. I shit my whole ass on that stuff, like the lining, everything. It was so gross, but it only
Ooh,
took
What the fuck?
a little bit to build it back
The
up.
lining
It
of your
cleaned it out.
asshole?
You had a lot of
I might as well
bacteria.
have been drinking paint thinner. It cleaned me out so bad. But you know, a lot of yogurt, a lot of probiotics. It's all back to normal, so that's
Yeah.
good. I can
Good.
eat spicy food again, so yay.
What's the prognosis on getting out of that bed?
Good. Physical therapy started early in November, and I know I'm in a bed, and this looks fucking. It's always ridiculous, but it is actually better. I can travel outside the city a little bit now.
Oh, I think that wheels.
Say that again.
That was great.
He's got wheels.
I
he
had to
said.
process it, but I like
Oh,
it.
So I'm getting out. I'm doing a little bit more. I'm working. If you look at my channel, there's more gaming. I built this whole
Yeah,
insane setup with the help of some friends and my wife, and so now I can game, which is fun.
Where's
Nice.
the
So I
mouse?
get my ass whooped.
It's Talk to Mouse. Over there. No, over there.
Click his
One to
head.
be right.
Click his head. Oh.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Oh, right there. All right, now I understand. Well,
Oh,
you can.
okay.
I would be.
I'd be
terrible at gaming,
god
trying
awful.
to mouse on
Yeah.
the bed.
I would
Well,
not
okay.
be
So what
able
you
to do
don't see is on the right side, there's a little bit more space. I have it cleared off for the mouse, and I have a split keyboard. So on the left-hand side, there'd be a little split half keyboard down here that I can just work. I kind of like that.
that. I realized how silly it was, Drifter, to ask about your VR endeavors as you're laying in the bed now. But
Yeah.
how
use
how much time can you be up and about in a given day?
In a given day, I'm trying to expand that time. I'm probably up 2 or 3 hours total, maybe 4
Can you
depending
drive?
on the day. Yeah, I can drive. I can go. The big issue is really sitting. Sitting, I don't like more than about 15 minutes. I can deal with up to about an hour if I'm in a lobby and I can get up and stretch my legs a little bit and stuff. If I end up having to sit around for more than an hour, I can kind of get fucked up, which is bad.
Like your
So
back?
I do have a lot of
Describe that?
uptime.
Like what happens if you sit too long?
Back starts getting tighter and tighter because it's got the little vertebra that slips around. Then I'll start feeling sciatica down one leg, maybe the other leg. The tightness will increase, and eventually it hits a point where the spine itself starts hurting. And the problem isn't that, oh, like, okay, that's bad. I can get up and put an ice pack on and stretch. The problem becomes that pain can last for days or weeks, or if I really fuck it up, maybe a month or something. So I can't just say, it's fine. I'll push myself today.
Do you have to like lean in different way? I remember from like TV shows imagining that bed sores were a bigger problem than they were maybe. Like, do you have to worry about that, or do you just shift around?
So far, I haven't had bed sores. It does suck. I can only lay on my back and not my side, so that's a fucking L.
As by
that
far
does
the
suck.
laziest person here, I could tell you, you must really have to lay in that bed and not move at all to get bed sores, because the way he's got his mouse, I'm like, yeah, when me and you used to play Age of Mythology, like religiously,
Yeah,
all that was in bed.
that's
I
how
would
you
be
played.
Yeah, I get
So
in bed. I take a mouse pad wouldn't work, but I had this big like poster board. You know, it's like you would do like a class project.
Yeah,
And I use that as a mouse pad, and you know my laptop in my lap in bed, and like, you know, my notebook full of all my notes.
yeah, your
strategies and
builds.
stuff. Yeah.
Man, I could not play a game that intense. I can't even do this show leaning back. I feel like I have to be leaning forward to be more engaged.
When
That's
I
what I
make
do.
gaming videos for YouTube, literally every single one of them's from bed. Like I always gamed in bed. I would just sit up in bed with my controller and the TV like at the foot of the bed. I thought the idea of having a monitor and a desk and a chair while playing Call of Duty on a controller was so silly.
Right.
I'm like, what are you
Why?
doing?
When you can lay in bed?
It
and
is
be more
kinda
silly.
comfortable?
What are you going to work over there? Get your fucking couch.
Yeah, but
dude.
don't you do that thing when you're like, especially doing multiplayer like Call of Duty, like you take one bad death, you lean forward.
Yeah,
like,
you
like
lean
shit.
forward.
Now
yeah.
you're like shitting posture because it's business time.
I remember
That
going
happens
back,
here
like,
too. I'll slowly like start doing this,
Yeah.
like leaning into the monitor.
You go back like 12, 13 years and be like, my KD's like 0.7. Maybe if I got a bigger TV.
Yes.
Then I
That's
could
the problem here.
1080
All these fucking 11-year-olds beating my ass have the best TV money can buy, and I'm sitting here on this
That
boob
made a
tube
big
CRT.
difference in the Xbox 360 era because